stereo.
Okay.
Okay, now
we should have audio?
Now we should have audio.
And that's
Hey,
why. Good thing we have the screen. Okay, can you hear us now? We'll see. I don't know.
Okay.
There's going to be quite a delay from us and from what we see on the chat.
It should be good now.
Oh, Haley's going to ad-lib what we're saying.
That'll be good. Here,
I'm going to just check to see on YouTube.
Oh, I'm sure it was just because it was set to the black magic, which it does by default. So you'll have to check that. Guys, we don't know. Oh, I'm sure. Yep. Because it was set to. Now it's going to like echo weirdly.
Didn't put it in low latency. I don't know what that means.
You can make it to where like the quality's lower so that the chat is like more current with what you're actually doing. So you get more accurate or like timely feedback, I guess.
Okay.
So, wow, that was a lame duck start then.
Wow.
We had such a cool idea.
Wow,
and the freaking audio didn't work. That's really depressing.
Yeah, no, okay. All right, well. Double speaking sorcery is this. I don't.
That's because they heard me.
It's still 1080.
Yeah.
Okay, well, that's good, I guess.
Yep.
All right, so. All right, well, cool.
This is what happens when you make a new studio, guys.
Yeah,
so what happens.
Anyway, for regular viewers of the channel, you can notice that there's been a massive change. And it's been a wild ride since my last stream. I know it's been over about 2 months since my last video. Things have been crazy with the new baby and the move. We are now in Steubenville. So it's kind of crazy. There's it's how it came about getting this studio. A wonderful guy named Eric Holmberg. I met him after Divine Liturgy. Actually, before we even closed on the house, like it was the day before, and he was talking about like how he's gearing up to do some projects that I don't know how free I am to talk about. Yeah. So anyway, he's just like, okay, and then he invited me over, showed me his studio, which was more or less set up. We just had to.
The pieces were all here.
Yeah, the pieces were all here, and thankfully, I had already decided to fly you out, and it was just kind of providential how the timing worked out because we just. I mean, I remember I called you like all excited, and then you didn't answer, and I just left you a really long voicemail, and.
Well, so like originally you were going to rent a room,
right?
And we were going to have to set this up from scratch with like nothing, no decorations, whatever equipment you could buy that you didn't already have. And then you're like, "Oh, I have a whole studio now." And I was like, "Why am I coming?"
Well,
but we still had to do some setup, and we've had a lot of fun. So it actually worked out. But I mean, this is like way better because instead of trying to decorate whatever room you would have rented out, like this, we walked in and like all this amazing religious art is here. And I saw the equipment and my jaw literally dropped because I was like, this is like everything I would have told you to buy if you had the budget for. And then it was just like here.
Yeah.
And you brought your mics and stuff, but he had some as well. So I mean, like we can fill the house if we need to.
Yeah, no, and it's cool because like there's still a lot of improvements that could be made. You know, one of the things like you can see like this window is blue. I did that today.
The rest of them will be blue eventually.
Yeah, the rest of them will be eventually blue.
Yeah.
So, but yeah. So anyway, it's been a wild ride here. Let's see here. Some housekeeping things that I want to talk about. So, things are now. I'm hoping to start taking the channel more seriously. Yeah, there's barely even a bookshelf too. The bookshelf is quite behind Drew. So eventually we do have another like set up here or another tripod and another camera. So eventually we're gonna have like the setup to where when Drew's talking or the guest is talking, it's gonna be focused on them. It's only us two in the room right now. So, but anyway, man, it's been a wild ride. So, okay, I got to put this one up on here. It's, the lack of bookshelf makes me doubt how Catholic this is.
Thursday, have you seen my channel at all?
Yes. So, yes, this is actually live and not Matt Frad live.
Yes,
even though on his premieres, it still says a premiere on it.
That always confuses people.
Yeah.
And I'm like, it does say premiere, not live. Like, it's clear that it's not. It just gives you the chat functionality.
Right.
And has, like, everyone's synced up so you can still have fun in the chat.
Yeah. So anyway, a lot of you may have known that I've got my Discord that was pretty open to the public. I would say that it was a really good community. But as I'm leaning more into this, I went ahead and turned that into a locals only perk, I guess. So if you join my locals, you know what? I'll even go ahead and tell y'all if you use the code early sub with all caps, no spaces, whatever, you can get a month for free. You can get into the Discord that way, and whatnot. So I am trying to grow my locals. The hope is to eventually be able to grow this into something to where I'd be able to sustain myself and my family on it. So yeah. Anyway.
Yeah.
Yeah. What is it?
I love your Discord. It's so fun.
Are there only mods here? Oh, are all of you mods? Okay.
I think so.
Oh, wow.
Pretty much, huh?
All right. So
Kevin's here. Hey, Kevin.
Wow. They're all mad. We're all mods. Okay. All right. Well, sweet. So, anyway, yeah. So a lot of cool stuff happening. So Drew, it's been quite the whirlwind since you got here. I just like to hear the story. You know, you get on the plane at home, and then just, I guess, go from there.
It was like the plane ride was interesting because, like, you know, you're on the plane reading books, watching stuff that you've downloaded to your iPad, whatever you're doing, and I'm like, wait, I'm going to a city I've never been to meet someone I've never actually met in person. Like 50-50 shot, he might just like be crazy and kill me. He might, you know, like I don't know. It's kind of weird because like sight unseen, never been out here, and you're just like, yo, come set up my studio, and then you're like, actually, I have this awesome studio, and we'll set that up. And yeah, I was just flying out, not really sure, I guess, what to expect. And that was the right place to be mentally, because as I'm like going to get my baggage, I'm like, oh, I'll get my bag, and then, you know, typical airport thing, you walk outside, and then you'll have to like figure out what the person's driving and call them, and they're making loops. Nope. As I'm approaching the baggage claim, this guy starts getting like obnoxiously close to me, and like chewing really loudly. And I'm like, what is this guy doing? And one thing you should know about me is when my glasses are on, my peripheral vision is like essentially useless because I'm a little bit blind.
Yeah, those are Coke bottles.
And yeah, and it was Kyle. So Kyle like had been in the airport stalking me, waiting for me to come down, and then just like snuck up on me and got like uncomfortably closer and closer and closer until you like jumped around and you were like, oh, hey. And I was like, what the... My only regret is like I had been considering like getting a camera out and like holding it out on a stick to like selfie kind of vlog, be like, oh, I'm in Pittsburgh, and then I would have seen you coming, and that would have been good. But alas, yeah, you kind of freaked me out a little bit, and then that just from there the whole thing has been a whirlwind. I don't know.
Okay,
we spent a lot of time smoking tobacco in Chesterton's, and that's about it. That's pretty much all we've done.
Yeah, yeah.
More tobacco in like a 48-hour period.
Well, maybe we'll tell the PG version of what was going on at Chesterton's.
Oh, yeah. That's the other thing, right? Like normally you fly somewhere and you're like, oh, we'll settle into wherever we're staying, and you're like, dinner, which was, yeah, we waited for like an hour. What's the restaurant?
The Harp and Habit.
It was really good.
Used to be Bennigan's.
It was good food, but it was like an hour and a half to get our food. And then we went right to Chesterton's. It was like, what, 8 o'clock?
Something like that, yeah.
And there was like an impromptu like
concert
duet in the back. And it was a riot. Almost all of it is like unrepeatable on a live stream.
Yeah, but I gotta say it was a grand old time. I'm not gonna name names, but there were two people there singing completely just improv or whatever that is, and it was just they were killing the entire room. It was great. And
dude, it was funny.
Oh man, but it was such a good time. And then I just looked at you and I was like, this is just a normal Thursday. This wasn't planned.
Which, come to find out, it's not exactly a norm, but it happens a lot. But that particular combo of people, is maybe a little rare. So
I will name Craig Kinsey.
What a dude!
That guy is amazing.
Most interesting man in the room
by far, and it's no joke. He has agreed to come onto the channel, so maybe next time he's in town, he'll be sitting in your seat. So
that'd be way cooler. That episode is going to do a lot better.
Yeah. Because he just headed out, but he did take, I asked him if he'd be willing. He's like, no, I'm traveling today. He's like, okay, well, that's fine. I really appreciate you. Yeah.
Just walking in and seeing him with that hat and those glasses, and like the long gray hair and a guitar in his hands. I was like, this is about to be crazy. This is gonna be epic. And it was absolutely epic.
Well, it was funny because when I picked you up from the airport, I was describing him to you, and
I was like, okay.
Well, so I was like, okay, here's his band. Listen to it, and I was like, okay, yeah. And he's like, okay, that's good. It's like, yeah, the lead singer, that's Craig, and he looks exactly how you would expect him to after doing this, and
did not disappoint.
Yeah, and then you go in there, I was like, yep, that one's Craig. So great guy, very interesting guy. He's a wandering storyteller. But yeah,
which is so cool that even exists in 2023.
Oh, it's amazing.
Like that guy has a way better time than everybody else.
Oh, Thursday's over here saying, Craig, I will dive. Do I know both of them? Yes, as a matter of fact, you very much do. So
yeah, what else? I think yesterday we worked in the Numa space, so I got a little bit of like big boy work done like the first couple hours. Once we got to Chesterton's though, I was useless. I was just hanging out, man.
Yeah. I was usually as productive as my job is any other normal day. But I love going to Chesterton's. It's it's a great time. But I gotta give a shout out to Matt McCloskey.
Yes.
Oh, dude. So I've asked him to come on too because it's just like dude's a wealth of knowledge when it comes to cigars and tobacco, and it's just So hey, let me know in the comments.
It would be weird
if
to
you
have
want
him
Matt on
and
soon.
not be able to smoke. Like he'd probably maybe just do that one at Chesterton's or something.
Yeah.
Because like to be able to have him on and not have a cigar in your hand would feel a little weird.
It would feel a little weird.
Feel a little empty.
But hey, you just got to work with what you got.
I got to say, the thing I love about Chesterton's is it's such like a culture creator. I mean, like all the experiences I've had, whether it was like that first night, which was crazy, or just every other time, it's just like a circle of dudes just hanging out. People are entering and exiting, and the conversation's just flowing, and everyone's hanging out. Like there was no you know what I mean? There's no there's no meetings, there's no appointments, there's no schedule. People are just like relaxing, talking.
There's no TVs.
Yeah, there's no music even, which at first I was like, dude, it's a little quiet, but I actually I've really grown to love that because it's like you're just enjoying each other's company. And if no one's talking for a minute, like everyone's just relaxing and it's just leisure. It's great. It's a beautiful thing. So I enjoy it a lot.
No, I've loved it. So for those of y'all that don't know, like I made
Chesterton's is the definition of a third space. That's yes, exactly.
So I had business cards made. They're metal and they're also bottle openers. I've been just handing these things out like they're candy at Chesterton's, just networking and whatnot. So.
They also make great flathead screwdrivers. We've been using them like all afternoon.
Yeah, actually we have.
Yeah.
Getting
putting tripod plates and stuff
these
on.
brass things out. Yeah. No, it's been crazy, but so cool. So I don't know if I've mentioned this yet during this trip, but I think it would be a good idea for you to move to Steubenville.
You haven't said that like once.
Yeah, no, I don't think I definitely not brought it up at least every 15 minutes.
Every time I'm like, oh, that's neat. Kyle's like, oh, you know what? Yeah, you know what would be even cooler? You could experience it every day if you moved to Steubenville or something like that.
Yeah, hey, and if y'all agree with me that Drew should uproot his family and move here, just spam the chat with "move to Steubenville." Drew.
Oh man, no, that's okay. I don't think I will. I'll just fly out an absurd number of times.
Yeah.
A year.
Yeah. So, but now that this is here, you've kind of got a little bit of a studio space that you're familiar with and that you can run a show out of if you so choose and whatnot.
Yeah, it's nice.
One thing that I know, one idea that we kind of floated while we were talking, I don't know if it's going to happen, so this isn't the furthest thing from an announcement or a commitment, is doing an in-person debate here like at this table.
It just feels right.
Wouldn't that be cool?
When you were like, for the thumbnail, like grabbing me and about to punch me in the face, I was like, this is exactly, it's a great debating space.
Yeah,
it's just, it would be cool. Like, it's a really comfy space.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, it's kind of, it's got some character.
Yeah.
If you kind of look around, but yeah, it's comfy. A lot of religious art. There is, the bookshelf, which you can't really see.
It's a nice,
dude,
it's a well-stocked bookshelf.
It's so cool. Like, I'm sad that I have to go back to my blank blue wall.
Yeah. One thing that you could do, and I don't know if I brought this up, but you could move here.
I hadn't thought of that. Yeah.
Yeah. So, all right, man. Well, cool. So it's kind of crazy too, because like you and I have been talking for a little over a year now, I think. But like, this is actually the first time you've been on my channel.
Yeah.
I've been on yours a couple of times.
Mm-hmm. When we do those like awful meme reviews.
I did that.
Always gets us in trouble.
That was also funny because like I'm not going to do it on mine, but I was just holding the mic. Mm-hmm. And there was one time like I had coffee or I had whiskey, I had the mic and I needed to hold it with something. So I just grabbed it with my mouth. And everybody was like, Kyle, why would you do that?
Everyone on my end had earphones too. So it was just like, you're putting your mouth around our ear. So gross.
Yeah.
So gross. Oh man.
Yeah. No. So, now this might be the last time I tell this joke, but one thing that was really cool about Chesterton's is we're just sitting there just swapping jokes. Mm-hmm. You know, a lot of times it's like, oh, here we're swapping memes, but you know, the art of telling a joke is it might be dying out a little bit. Mm-hmm. Because like when you get to say them, it's like, well, no, you post memes and whoever gets the most reaction, you know, cool.
Yeah.
But it's so good. So have I told you about the 3 guys who get the 3 wishes yet?
Mm-mm.
Okay. All right. Cool. I'm glad I didn't.
So nervous.
So okay. So so there's 3 guys. They're walking through the woods and they stumble across a genie lamp. So you know the deal. You gotta rub it. Boom, genie lamp pops out, and he's just like, "All right, genie of the lamp. Oh, cool. Oh, there's 3 of you. Okay. Well, normally in a situation like this, I'd just give you each 1 wish, but I'm feeling generous today, so you get 3 wishes each." So the guy is sitting over there, and he's going, all right. Well, Oh, and then, yeah, sorry. The genie was also saying that, also, no funny business, you know. I know what your intent is. We're just going to go with that. So, all right, sweet. So the first guy goes, I wish I had $1 billion in my bank account. And he's just like, okay, boom, done. He checks his phone. Sure enough, there's a bunch of zeros and his previous balance there. Awesome. Genie says, hey, good luck with the IRS. And then goes to the second guy. He goes, all right. What do you want? And he goes, $1 billion. This is not a bad idea, but maybe I should just think about it this for a second. He goes, I got it. All right. I wish that every business decision that I make from here on out will yield exponential returns. Boom. He's like, wow, feeling good. All right. The third guy.
Such a long buildup.
Third guy goes, I wish for my right arm to rotate clockwise for the rest of my life. Boom. He's going, I absolutely hit my funny bone when I did that. That was not pleasant. Back to the first guy. He goes, okay, all right. What do you want? And he's like, well, okay, I got the money. Well, now I got to get the girl. So he's just like, all right. I wish I was married to a supermodel. Boom. Supermodel appears right next to him, wedding band on his hand. And he's just like, all right,
sweet,
let's go. Second guy's just like, okay, supermodel, that's kind of nice, but you know, it's kind of short-sighted because you know, looks aren't everything. He's just sitting there thinking.
Smart guy.
He goes, I wish that I had the charisma to woo any woman that I talk to. Boom, and he stands up straight a little bit, and he's just like, all right, he's got some game. Third guy, I wish my left arm would rotate counterclockwise for the rest of my life. Boom. All right. Back to the first guy. He's like, okay, I got the money. I got the girl. Now I just need my health. So he goes, I wish that I could live at least to the age of 100 in relative health. Boom. He's already feeling better. Awesome. Great. Second guy goes, okay, that's pretty good. He goes, I wish that every disease or injury that I get, I would just recover from instantly. Boom. And he is just feeling amazing. Let's go. Third guy. I wish my head would nod back and forth forever. Boom. All right. Genie's like, all right, there you go. Good luck. So a few years go by. They meet up. Just kind of a nice reunion.
This is a novel.
Nice reunion. First guy he's up, and he's like, hey, you know what? Things are feeling great. I got to say, I took that $1 billion, I invested it. I now have $10 billion. We're doing good. I've donated so much. My wife is great. Our children are amazing. And I've never felt better. The second guy goes, well, that's cute. I took my business prowess. I became the world's first trillionaire out of all the great businesses that I've done. I've solved world hunger. World peace is up next. And I was able to woo the most virtuous and beautiful woman on the planet, and it wasn't even difficult. And because I just recovered from everything, I've been able to go on all sorts of crazy adventures and do all this crazy stuff. And if I get hurt, it doesn't matter because I instantly get better. The third guy's over there. Guys, I messed up. Oh, wow. 0 viewers. Okay. All right. Yeah. So,
oh, man.
So that's the joke that I've been telling a lot. Cleaned it up a little bit for YouTube, but yeah. So
I was like, when it was getting to the third thing, I was like, uh-oh. Where's this gonna go?
Yeah. Yeah. So there we go. There's my
how's about some Jesuit, Franciscan, or Dominican jokes?
Okay. Well, Jesuit, Franciscan, Dominican jokes. Well, one day
I don't know any.
One day, the Jesuits, Franciscans, and Dominicans were all arguing about who was the best religious order. So they go to the bishop, and the bishop says, I want no part of this. Get out. Go ask somebody else. So they're like, okay, well, maybe we'll go to the nuncio, and we'll see what he has to say about it. And once again, he's just like, he's not even interested. He's just like, guys, I've got way bigger issues. Get out. So then they're like, okay, let's go to Rome. We got to talk to the Pope. So they asked the Pope, and he's just like, once again, he's a very busy man, and he's just sitting there thinking, listen, yes, I have a preference, but that means nothing. And after all, Pope Francis, he's a Jesuit. So it's just like, I was like, I don't feel like I can give a real fair assessment. So there's like, well, we went through all the proper channels, and we still don't really have an answer. We should just go to God. We should just ask God what his opinion is. So, so they all get together, they write a letter and send it to heaven. And then they get a response that says, my children, I love all of you. You are all equal. Signed, God, OP.
Amazing.
So, yeah. Kyle hasn't gained any friends since moving to Steubenville because of that joke. I might have even lost some, actually. I've burnt so many bridges since arriving here. What's another one? Oh, so a man comes up to...
How many of these do you have?
Comes up to a Benedictine, a Franciscan, and a Jesuit, saying, Father, please help me. How many novenas must I say to get a Ferrari? The Benedictine goes, the Franciscan's up first, and he goes, well, my son, it's kind of a disordered desire. You shouldn't be saying so many novenas for this. It's, you really need to work on that. The Benedictine just goes, what's a Ferrari? And the Jesuit goes, what's a novena?
This is when Father John Brown's going to be like in the chat.
Oh, yeah. Well, yeah. I'm surprised he's not already here.
Yeah.
Oh, let's see here. Oh, okay. I've got another one. Okay. So you've got the Benedictines, the Dominicans, the Jesuits, and a diocesan priest all together saying Vespers. Lights go out. Well, the Benedictines are completely unfazed, shut their books, and continue Vespers just from memory alone.
Based.
The Dominicans start debating about the merits of darkness and whether it actually exists or if it's merely just the absence of light. The Franciscans immediately start singing songs of joy, thanking the Lord for the gift of darkness and how it's an excellent chance to grow in holiness. The Jesuits excuse themselves. They dispense themselves from saying Vespers and go to bed. The diocesan priest proceeds to go down to the basement and resets the breaker.
Yeah, that's accurate. That's just accurate. Oh, man.
Well, let's see here.
I thought there was only one bridge in Steubenville. I see that if you burned it, people won't like you. Well,
there's actually two. You've got the Market Street Bridge, and then there's the one that we came from. So, yeah. Are either of you third order religious or pursuing it? Nope.
No plans right now.
Yeah. Not any particular plans right now. Not ruling it out, but it's not particularly on the cards right now.
Same.
So, Brother Andrew, if you want to give me a joke, I will. You know what? Post it in the Discord, and if y'all want to, join my locals if you want in the Discord to hear Brother Andrew's jokes.
Ooh, I should have made more coffee.
So yeah. So, what is it like being a member of one of the most persecuted minorities in the world, being part of the Druish people?
The Druish people, yeah. I don't know. I never knew I was Druish until I came here. And then it was pointed out to me. I felt different for the first time in my life.
Yeah. Well, hey, you know what? Life is druidiful whenever you're Druish. So
your dad mode is just like.
Oh yeah. Hey, you know what?
It's
crazy.
Great.
You were crazy once. Yeah.
I didn't know there were any standing bridges left up there.
Yeah. Anyway. Oh man. Yeah, so it's so funny. We've been hanging out so much that it's just I'm kind of just grasping at straws for
I know, we talked about all the cool stuff the past couple days.
Yeah.
We should have just been recording that.
So if y'all haven't checked it out, go watch the short that he uploaded last night.
So bad. I love it. We get home, what was it, 11 o'clock at night?
Yeah.
Yeah, we'd been in Chesterton's drinking some whiskey, smoking some cigars. And then I think I think that joke just happened naturally, and then I was like, we should record that, and then we did, and then we had to do 5 takes to get it right.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Well, that wasn't that. Yeah. That was.
But it was good.
That was nuts. But
and then it hit 1.7 thousand views instantly, and then just stopped dead.
Yeah, so, I think it got up to 1,800.
1,800.
Yeah.
Okay.
And then it's so funny when you're making a joke and people take it seriously, and but oh my goodness, some of the comments that I've seen on the Council of Trent.
Oh, I can only imagine.
Man, and they just keep coming. It's nuts, dude.
It's I have to remind myself that an actual human being has typed these comments sometimes. Because you're who says that? How did you wake up and decide to say that, It almost feels sometimes it almost feels like AI or a bot or something. I guess it could be.
There was an XKCD comic that he was saying, "What are you doing? I'm writing a virus. Why? What does it do?" He goes, "Well, every time somebody leaves a comment on a YouTube video, it reads it to them before they can actually post it." So, and then it goes over to a guy and it reads it back to him, and you just see him just walk out, and he goes to his doorstep, and he's got his head in his face, and he's just and he goes, "Oh no, I'm an idiot." He goes, I never knew.
You know what's really funny too is when people think they've so on one of my videos that's done a little bit better, the interview with the ex-Mormon bishop, there are so many people thinking they're just so darn clever, leaving to some effect the same exact comment of oh, out of the frying pan into the fire, Catholic to Mormon, those are both bad. I've had the same comment probably left 50 times.
It's honestly people making jokes about your name. It's right. After about the second grade, you pretty much heard them all.
Yeah.
And I've made a few that you was I've never heard that before.
There were some unique ones. Yeah. Druish, I haven't heard. Druish, or at least not that I remember.
Or Druidiful.
Druidiful. Yeah.
That was. Yeah, or Druidiful. I don't know. It's just
right.
Whatever. But yeah. So.
Oh, the joke is in your parish hall on Discord from Brother Andrew.
Oh boy. Okay, so parish hall's for Catholics only. So, woohoo.
Careful not to show your number there on the.
Oh yeah, I've got my. So this is my business card.
Okay. I thought it was flipped.
Yeah, this is my business card. So if
don't dox yourself.
If I flip it over, then that's my phone number on it. And it's just so I mean, only 6 people are gonna watch this.
That's okay.
Outside of
another interesting, totally random thing. We had Taco Bell twice yesterday.
We did.
That was kind of a bad decision, maybe, but we had the exact same thing.
Yeah, I had 2 bean burritos both times.
2 cheese quesadillas.
2 cheese quesadillas. Yeah.
Yeah.
So
they forgot my taco the second time.
Yeah, they did. Oh well, it's Taco Bell.
Taco. That's okay.
Yeah, you win some, you lose some.
I haven't ever had Taco Bell twice in one day.
Huh. I think I have maybe, but on traveling.
Yeah,
Taco Bell's probably my favorite place to stop while traveling.
Yeah, it's a good fast food.
Yeah, but yeah. So what's going on in your life, man?
Man, I don't know. This trip it's been a whirlwind. It's only this is second full day.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like so much has happened. Like I was talking to Gina last night, just kind of like processing a lot of it for like 45 minutes. And I was like, this is crazy. Like some of just the conversation, some of the people, I don't know. It was just cool. A lot of cool connections being made, a lot of some cool opportunities for us. And it's just been wild. Yeah. It's been fun.
You know, it's like super crazy. So when sometimes people will come in here and they'll say, hey, I'm visiting Steubenville. What should I do?
Mm-hmm.
And it's just like, well, well, you could go check out the university.
Mm-hmm.
You could go get some coffee.
Mm-hmm.
You go to Chesterton's. Go.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, I don't smoke. Oh, okay. And you really think about it, like on paper, like there's not a lot to see, not a lot to do.
Yeah.
And and whenever I realize it's like, it's not what is here in Steubenville, it's who is here in Steubenville. And, the people, the community, the remarkably interesting people. Mm-hmm. A great example, we were sitting in Chesterton's. One of the guys that hangs out there regularly, who I will eventually have on the channel, mm-hmm. he's a research assistant over at the St. Paul Center. And we were making jokes about, or we were talking about royalty in the Jewish tradition and whatnot. And at one point, I said something along the lines of, "Well, hey, you're the because it was celebrating Hanukkah or celebrating Passover late, and mm-hmm. he made a reference that Hezekiah had the authority to do that because he's the king." Mm-hmm. And so we were saying, yeah, why don't you just, celebrate Christmas or your birthday late? The mm-hmm. king has the authority to do that. And he goes, mm-hmm. I have to ask the queen. At which point I just immediately went, your mom? and it was just amazing because I didn't have to explain that to anybody.
Yeah, right.
And it was just, oh my gosh, it was great. Mm-hmm. And so it's just, these here are my people. Mm-hmm. And it's just, I'm so relaxed here, and I'm so just very thankful for the people that are here. It's been wonderful, but oh my gosh, I know this is just us talking, but I kind of want to like gush a little bit about my neighborhood. Mm-hmm. The kids in the neighborhood.
Yeah, it's beautiful to see.
Oh my!
Like your kids just like run outside the door, and there's just like this flock of children.
Yeah. So where we bought our house, whenever I went to go check it out for the first time, it was a little crazy. It wasn't even the first house that I wanted to see. I really only went to go look at it to humor the realtor. Mm-hmm. Which, by the way, if you're looking for a realtor to move to Steubenville, Greg Demary, Demary. Google that. Give him a call if you're trying to move to Steubenville. So anyway, Greg was like, "Well, why don't you go check this one out?" I was like, "Okay, fine, whatever." And then the house wasn't much to speak about. Like, I mean, it's an acceptable house. Yeah. It's a house. Yeah. People can most definitely live there. I've grown to like it even more since living there because a lot of things that I overlooked, like, I was like, wow, this is actually really nice to have. Mm-hmm. But what sold me on it was whenever I came out came out of the house, and I'm talking to Greg. I was like, yeah, it's pretty good. But then the neighbor came back, and she looked at me and said with kind of a stern voice, it was a very stern warning. She said, if you are going to live here, you have to be okay with kids playing in your yard. Oh.
You're like, sold.
Like, sold. This is like, yes, perfect. We've got 5 kids. I want them to be able to play, have friends in the neighborhood and play with each other. Mm-hmm. And it's wonderful. So it's... Mm-hmm. And absolutely that. And there was another, a little girl. It was just the sweetest thing. She said, she told her dad that she had been praying for another 4-year-old little girl to move into the neighborhood. And then whenever I went and did this and I met her dad, he said, my daughter's been praying for another 4-year-old girl to move into the neighborhood so that way she could have a friend. And I'm just sitting there thinking, I have a 4-year-old little girl. So, but yeah,
that's awesome.
And of course, those two are so they're like best friends. So they're always playing with each other.
That's awesome.
And so it's kind of crazy, like coming home from work and I see what is it? The just neighborhood kids in the house just playing in my living room, and it's just like, oh, hey kids. And then eventually their parents will text me.
Ideal.
Yeah, their parents will text me and say, hey, can you send them home?
Yeah.
Like,
yep.
Easy. And it's Oh, it's so good. So yeah. Anyway.
Yo, text me the door code or your dummy. Door code. Oh, the other door has a code. Is he here?
Are you downstairs? There's no door code.
Yeah, there's a door to the left of the one with the code, and it should just be unlocked.
Unless he thinks that we're in the Numa space, which we are not.
We're not in the Numa space Thursday.
So, yeah, we are. Yeah, that is. We are not.
But
in the
wouldn't
Numa
he
space.
have the code to that space?
Maybe, I don't know. So.
Yeah, if you're around the back of the building that we are in, there is one with the door code, but the door to the left. I'm just gonna go check.
You know what? Monologue. I'm gonna go.
I'm at the right spot. That's so weird. Okay,
I'm gonna go.
All right.
I'm just gonna go get Thursday.
Go get Thursday.
Do you want to see if you can find it? There's only 9 people. Bear with us, guys. This is trash content anyway. It started off poorly, so yeah. Hold on.
Let's see. Yeah, I guess I will just talk about. Okay, so Chesterton's has been like the place we have lived. It's been amazing. Oh, you know what? This will be good. So anyone who's in my Discord saw one of the jokes Kyle kind of made. Oh, I wish I had it with me. Was that anything that someone commented that got the most reactions, he would do to me. And I think he was hoping that people would be like, oh, play a prank on him or something. Like draw on his face when he's asleep or something. But I commented, "Bye, drew a pipe," and then Kyle reacted to it the most, and I was like, "What the heck?" And then I get out here and Kyle gave me a pipe, so that was pretty cool. Got to break in the pipe yesterday at Chesterton's with some luxury Navy flake. Really good tobacco. But yeah, it's just been fun. You know what I mean? Like anyone who smokes, if you've ever like not had the opportunity to smoke inside, I haven't yet. That was new. And just have so many people all sharing tobacco. It's been cool. Oh, and there we go. Hey, what's up?
Oh, you want to produce this? What are we doing?
Oh, he's producing.
I was just gonna say
Thursday is here. What's up, dude?
I was like, I know where they are. I can just walk in. You guys cannot tell that's you can't tell that there's like tessellation on that window on the stream.
Oh, really?
It's just washed out.
Oh, that's probably just the exposure. These lights aren't strong enough to like expose for the window. So yeah. Do we want to throw a third mic on or?
Do you have the cable?
Yeah, we could just string some of those ones together, like I was saying.
Okay.
So yeah, here I'll
sit down. I was just here to be weird.
No, come sit.
Come crash the stream.
Crash the stream, dude.
Asthmatics are not barred from Steubenville. There used to be a Coke. Oh, okay. Sorry, Kevin. Only the strong survive. So here,
I say take that mic for now.
Oh, look at that. It's not tightened.
It's not tightened at all. You probably have some more cabling too if you want to bring it closer.
The door was unlocked. The knob didn't turn, and so I turned the knob.
Okay.
And was like, the door is locked.
Oh, no, okay.
Kyle comes down and just pushes it without touching the knob, and I was like, I'm just an idiot.
That's okay.
I was going to use a different word, but I don't want Kyle to get in trouble.
So yeah, you're going to want to probably just like string like 4 or 5 of those together. And then is there anywhere in town that like sells XLR cables?
Nah.
No? Oh, anywhere close? Probably not within
Best Buy would be the closest spot.
How far is that?
40 minutes.
Nope.
Yeah, if we're going to go to Robinson, we're going to go to Burgatory.
Okay. Well, anyways. There's like a couple minor things missing. Like long enough XLR cables is one. I'd like some brighter lights.
So many. I was looking yesterday for a short one.
You want to trade?
I have like 6 20-foot XLR cables, and I needed one that was like 5 feet long.
We have those. You want 3? We'll just trade. So yeah, around the back there. Yeah.
I couldn't figure it out either. I ended up just being like, I don't know how to fix this. Sorry.
Gotcha.
Turn my phone off.
Nice. What's up, dude?
What's up? How you doing? Good to meet you.
Yeah, good to meet you too.
I was just here to be weird. I was like, I know where they are.
It would have been so much better if
I just walked in.
I would have been like,
my plan was like,
heck, dude?
If I just walk in and stand in the doorway, they will freak out. But then I couldn't figure out how to get in. I tried for like 3 minutes.
I would have just been like, what is wrong with people in Steubenville sneaking up on people they don't know yet? Because he did that to me in the airport. So that would have been way better.
You guys didn't see it, but I said in the chat, the PGH airport cops are horrid.
Really?
They're just so They're just the worst. And so parking to pick people up from the airport is the only sane thing to do.
Okay.
Because if you're in the pickup, I've been in the pickup line for like lane, like waiting for like 2 minutes.
Yeah.
For like 2 minutes. At one point I was just literally sitting there for like 2 minutes and some like bike cop came up to me and was like, "You got to move." And I was like, "He's getting his bag right now. I just got a text." They're like, "Nope, can't stay here." I was like, "Okay." So I just pulled in and parked, because the other thing is they only charge you for parking after like the first like 40 minutes. So, and then even if they do charge you, it's like $3. So it's like, I will pay $3 every time I go to the airport to not have to deal with the airport police.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like, also they have some questionable security practices. Can I tell the story about the bike cop? Have I told you this?
No, I don't think I've heard the story of the bike cop.
Okay, so I went to pick somebody up one day, and they were like, they'd already gotten out because their flight was early, so they were in the pickup lane. So it was literally just going to be like a pull up, load, and leave. But as I'm doing this, the cop on duty, like doing security in the pickup lane, is this like woman in her late 50s, early 60s.
Oh, wow.
On a bicycle. And look, this is purely me questioning security and not saying anything. I'm just saying, if I had bad intentions, that would not discourage me. In fact, I would be more confident seeing that.
Right.
Like if I pulled up to the airport to do some questionable things and the police in the pickup lane was a 60-year-old woman on a bicycle, I'd be like, very good.
Perfect.
Okay.
But nobody should do that.
Yeah, in Minecraft.
In Minecraft.
No, unironically, nobody should do that. I'm just saying
it's
yeah, I did. I saw it on the stream.
Oh, okay.
I was like, I'm just saying nobody should. I'm just saying
pretty great.
It is questionable security practices.
Yeah. So, yeah. So welcome Thursday.
This just got so much more interesting.
Which was hilarious, because this was legitimately the first time that they've been in the same room together.
Yeah, that's true.
No, that's
You want to go? Yeah, Matt won't care. You want to go see the studio after this?
Sure.
Okay.
Yeah, absolutely.
I have to go. I have to go get some files anyway. That's why I came downtown.
Okay.
I was getting ready to leave my house, and then I saw you guys were live, and I was like, I should just comb my hair and put on a presentable shirt. Because I was like wearing a hoodie and was just going to leave my hood up.
Oh, that would have been even sketchier. That would have been great.
What's up?
Not to show up. That was my original plan, was like, I'm just going to go to the office and get files.
Gotcha.
Like, so I don't need to do anything.
Okay. All right. Yeah. Cool. So.
Well, see, this put the life into the stream that we needed, because you and I are like, I don't know, we've been around each other for like 40 hours. We've talked about everything.
Yeah. So that's why, like, general best practice is like, don't talk to your guests too much before the interview.
Yeah.
So that way, like, the topics are fresh.
We're gonna have nothing to talk about on Monday when we go on my channel.
I mean, maybe.
Like literally nothing to talk about.
What is this?
Monkey test. Can you use a loose doorknob?
So it does lock.
It doesn't need to lock, apparently.
I wish I could curse
locked
on Kyle's channel, because if we were on my channel, I'd tell Belly.
Yeah. Oh man,
it's okay. We're not saying it, but the sentiment is there.
Yeah.
But yeah, no. So it's just kind of crazy. Like, we set this up today, though. Like, well, and by we I mean
cool.
you.
They're encoding from. Okay.
Yeah,
that's really interesting. They're encoding from the ATEM.
No, ATEM's a webcam.
No, they've got the Ethernet into it. The only reason to do that is if you're encoding from it, right?
Yeah, we're not using it that way though.
Not you guys, but like I think.
So, well,
sorry, I'm doing producer things.
Yeah. You're putting too much faith in how the system was set up when we arrived, because the HDMI out of the ATEM was plugged into the HDMI out of the computer. So think about that for a minute.
Okay,
right. So the signal path isn't there to encode.
I'm gonna reserve, because I know the guy who did it, and he might see this later, and he's a good guy. So.
No. Yeah, it's great. It's also just the regular mini, so I don't think it can encode. It's only got the webcam.
No, they encode.
The Pro, I think it has to be the Pro though.
The mini encodes. It just won't do preview, and it won't record to. And I don't think it records to a drive.
Right. Yeah, it doesn't do that.
Yeah.
So
because we have the.
Either way, we're using it as a webcam right now. So
okay, cool.
And then
we have the. We upgraded recently.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
Ooh.
And I need to find a drive that works. This is super frustrating. You guys want to talk about weird producer stuff?
Oh,
It's
yeah.
dumb.
Let's go weird producer
Are
stuff.
you on like a
There's
Samsung T7s? They're not compatible?
Yes.
Yeah, they're not compatible.
It's the best external drive.
Right,
So I
but
have
they
a
don't
bunch
work
of
with
them
the
because
ATEMs,
I need to have external drives.
SanDisk Extreme Pros work
So
great
yes,
with the ATEM.
but the
you gotta
problem
get
is
the one that doesn't have
the
bugs.
SanDisk Extreme Pro I have that we have, I was already using to back up recordings, like our old recordings when.
Do you not have like a RAID drive set up? No, I'm just kidding.
Get out.
Okay.
I want
okay,
one.
okay.
I want one.
You, no,
I
like,
know, I
like,
know
it's
we
a
should.
Need. Yeah,
I know.
Yeah,
I know we
it's
should.
not a want. Like, it's like
but it's a terabyte, so I back up to a SanDisk, and then
Okay.
I upload to.
Everyone watching just went.
It's okay. Nobody
Yo,
watches
that's
this channel.
Funny. That hat. Did you read that?
Do you want to put it on?
I kind of do. Eric's not gonna care.
So
Eric, when you do watch this, I can't express enough how dope this room is
Yeah.
and all of your art and everything. I mean, guys, it's so cool. There's so
It's
much
weird
beautiful
to put on somebody
art.
else's hat, so I should not put it on. It is
Just-
a little weird to put on somebody
Yeah,
else's
where can
hat.
you see it here? This will be good.
Um,
You'll love this. There we go.
there we go.
No, so the SanDisk I do have. So basically, what I need to do is move everything off the Extreme
Yeah.
Pro onto a different drive so
Oh,
that I can
geez.
use the Extreme Pro for recording.
How much data do you have on there?
I have over 500 gigabytes on it.
Well, that's not that bad.
Yeah, it's not that bad, but it is annoying because I'm just gonna have to. So.
Yeah.
So one of the things that we were talking about earlier before you just started trying to break into the female living downstairs.
Is that what that is?
Yes.
That's fine. I know the people who live there too.
Okay. All right.
I know Lainey. I would have walked in and Lainey would have been like, "What are you doing?" I was like, "I'm trying to find the studio."
Real name redacted. What are you doing in my house? But
That's actually what would have happened. And then I would have told her and she would have laughed.
okay. All right. Well, fair enough. So, okay, cool. So, but one thing that we're talking about is doing live debates in here. Now, you've got a debate coming up.
I do in February, right?
Ish. Yeah.
Okay.
I
we
might
need
be
to
going
pick
to Rome, so I might have to move it to
Let's
March.
move it.
Okay.
Because I need to pick an exact date because I need to like do buckle down and do heavy research, and I haven't gotten to do it because
Okay.
I'm prepping for the Christmas vacation.
No,
I
that's
have to-
good.
that
Yeah,
I'm
yeah,
taking.
yeah. Wait, do your Christmas thing, and then
Yeah,
after
yeah,
that,
yeah.
I need to send you guys an email anyways. But
Okay.
I'll reach out to him and
It's
see
on
if, I-
secondary
I'll-
market specifically.
Yes,
Yeah,
he was down.
sweet. Okay,
so
good.
we're good to go with that. But
I don't know how much I want to say because it's
I wanna
bad
do it in
form to
person.
like shock him.
I want to do it in person.
You wanna do it
if-
here?
That's what I'm thinking.
It could
I
be
want to
fun.
see if he's up for it.
Wait a
Don't
minute.
say anything about the topic or anything else that you haven't. Yeah,
Wait a
don't-
minute. I
don't
thought
really
sharing
go
your arguments beforehand in an email was gish galloping.
Well, I don't want to I don't want to like tell him my entire thought process, but it is bad form to like purposefully shock somebody with your arguments.
there. Yeah,
So
maybe tell me later, and I can give him some like.
yeah.
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 Well,
Anyways.
what about doing that debate here in this room?
Yeah.
That would be fine.
think that'd be cool?
That'd be a good time.
I'll see if he's up for it. Because, like, honestly, I'll fly out if I can. We'll look at a date. And
Snakeskin tablecloth is distracting.
The snakeskin tablecloth.
but I think it'd be way cool.
Diagnosed ADHD for anybody who doesn't know.
Oh, man.
Oh, here we go. So, Drew, would you leave Colorado for Steubenville, and why do you hate Ohio?
As of now, I have no plans to move to Steubenville, so no. So I guess I'll explain this too, because it's not like I have anything wrong with Steubenville. I've actually really enjoyed my time here. It's a lovely place. We just feel particularly called to be involved in our parish community. We're really doing some formative things there. So like part of my goal is to like kind of dissect what works about Steubenville and what's happened here and what made the magic happen, and then see if we can emulate it. So.
I will say a lot of times when people say that, they underestimate the item in the recipe that is Steubenville, that is the fact that it's poor and run down. Like
Totally.
people want,
And
like,
that's gonna
and
be our
I'm not
biggest
even saying,
challenge,
I'm not
yeah.
even saying like I figured you would immediately be like, oh yeah, that makes sense. But I've heard people say things like about emulating Steubenville, and they won't say it this way. It's like, we want Steubenville, but without all the poor people and the drug addicts. And it's like,
Right.
well, you're just not going to get Steubenville then. You know what I'm like? You're just not going to get, you're going to get something else. And
Yeah.
it might still be good, but it won't be Steubenville. And you're going to have to figure out something else to unite you. Because if you're not, like, part of what makes Steubenville right now is the fact that we're still building it as a community. You know what I mean?
Like, and there's opportunity to build really accessibly, right?
Yes.
Like if you wanted to start a business and buy a building, that's like really accessible. Where I live, it's the opposite of that. So we're gonna have to get really creative. But
yeah. So there's something to be, not something. I think you cannot understate how important the like communal building of the place is to like the unity that we have.
I think that's the thing I've noticed. Cause like one of the things I've been thinking about, just kind of dissecting my experience so far. Cause like in my parish right now, our parish experience is having renewal, which is great. So like the actual, like Source and Summit, like the liturgy is experiencing renewal. The bonds of the people in the parish experience renewal. Where Steubenville is at, they're actually like the people are formed enough and their charisms are activated. They're living them out to a degree that they're actually building culture, right? And so that's like a step down from getting the first things right. In a sense, at least that's how, I mean, you guys would know better than me because you live here, but that's like the sense I'm getting is there's a lot of people who are active in their faith and their charisms are active. Their mission in the world is active. The community is really tight. So then they get to build culture, which is, downstream from the faith. So that's like, how I've been thinking about it at least. So it's pretty neat. Oh, that's a comment right there.
Oh no, I was gonna ignore it.
I mean, I'll talk about it mostly because like I just moved here, so I don't have like terribly strong opinions on it.
The Bishop of Columbus is good.
Yeah.
My main issue is that, and even you, somebody who doesn't live here and has no intention to live here, will, I think, agree with this. And you, as somebody who's just moved here recently, will agree with this. That within 10 years. If it isn't already, Steubenville will be the biggest and most thriving Catholic community in the world, in the English-speaking world.
I could see that.
And having our local ordinary be over 2 hours away does not seem like a good long-term plan for the pastoral care of that community that is forming, And some of the reasons that the merger is happening or that the diocese was being merged in the first place are not the case.
So
some of the claims, and I won't say of who or by who for the sake of charity, some of the claims made by the people and entities wanting the merger were just false. And I don't see how they didn't know they were false. It's not. I don't think it's an instance of like, oh, they didn't know this wasn't true, because I don't see how they could not have realized.
Yeah. Now the apostolic administrator of the Diocese of Steubenville, Bishop Paul Bradley, I believe. Yeah. He put out a letter recently, and I thought it was really good. And every priest that I've talked to seems to say that it is like they believe him. There's a lot of trust there, so
which is a step in the right direction.
Yeah. So that's, and basically says like, hey, we're just gonna analyze everything. It's like the merger's not off the table, but it's definitely not a foregone conclusion.
Anymore.
Yeah. So
and saying anymore does matter because it was dropped on the priests in a way that made it seem foregone.
Yeah. So. Hey, this whole thing has just kind of showed me like prayer works. So like,
prayer and practicing. There's a lot of people who talk about Canon 212, but practicing it in the way it's meant to be practiced,
right?
Not how it often is, but how it's actually meant to be.
Right,
has been a big thing. That's helped.
Yeah. Who knew that just flying off the handle and like screaming at your bishop is doesn't actually yield a lot of results. But whenever you come to your leaders in submission and charity, and it's just like, I acknowledge your authority, but
well, we should move on.
I don't know.
Seems wise. I'm just a dude from Colorado.
I'm just a dude who
lived
here.
My biggest concern is if there is a merger, the local ordinary will be over 2 hours away for a community that is going to be the pastoral castare of their bishop.
Yeah. Yeah.
I kind of live in that situation though. Like our diocese is really weird. Like we're all rural. Like there's the Diocese of Denver, the Diocese of Colorado Springs, and those are both based in big cities. And then there's Pueblo, which is like the rest of the state. But we're all small communities, so it almost doesn't matter because even if we were closer, it's still like remote winter snow driving to get there anyway. So, but yeah, like out here, it's very different. That's like a big city, and then is it like 4 hours? Isn't it to? I know that's where my wife's parents live. It's like 4 hours to here. They're outside of Columbus.
It's 2.
Is it 2?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Maybe
it's 2.5.
I'm thinking of another town in Ohio.
About 2.5.
2.5. Still, that's still.
Because it takes me 6.5 to get to Indianapolis, where.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Okay. Well, either way, I mean, like if you had to do that in a day, that's like a rough day to like drive 2.5, do something, drive 2.5 back. So like, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Anyways.
Moving to the side of the mic muffles your voice.
Oh, I wonder if is it cardioid?
I mean, it's an SM7B, so it should be.
Okay, well.
Yeah. That's okay.
So.
Dang.
Okay. Well, cool. This has been like an hour already.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Well,
I was like, oh yeah, we're just getting started.
Yeah. No, I mean, it's especially whenever the chaotic element shows up of just like, although also just like speaking to the student, like we were set up to just throw him in. Like,
yeah, and we can still do one more. So is there someone else like at the door that wants to just come join?
Like they'd have to get one
I thought about calling McCloskey and saying we should show up together.
Oh, that would have been cool.
Yeah, I'm going to have him on the show eventually.
That's good.
So, but yeah.
It's not 3.5 hours to Indy from Steubenville unless you're driving 200 miles an hour.
It's more like 3.5 hours from Dayton. So.
He might be talking about Columbus to Indy. That is about 3.5.
I think that's right.
Yeah.
Because we had to do that. My wife, one of her friends got married in Indy earlier this year. And it was like 3.5 hours back, I think.
Yeah.
I don't know. I wasn't driving though. So
From Columbus.
Yeah, from Columbus. Okay. Yeah, that's about right.
Yeah. Okay.
Gotcha.
It's 8 hours from Texas.
A book it Houston style.
Houston style.
Where you
do not try booking it Houston style through Missouri.
Why?
Oh man,
just speeding.
I mean, I speed on I-44 all the time.
All right, well,
set the cruise at 80.
Damn.
Yeah.
I got a felony speeding ticket doing that.
You got a felony speeding
in Arizona? I think I was going 85. Or no, I was going. Oh, okay, I was going 90. So it's a little worse than 80, but I was going 90. And I think the speed limit was like 75, but the state limit, like there's like an upper limit for the state, and that was 85. And if you cross it, it's a felony.
A felony, not a misdemeanor.
Are you allowed to vote?
Yeah, they didn't charge me with a felony.
Oh, okay.
But like they could have.
Oh,
like they could have given me a felony, and so I had to go to court. I literally had to go to court for this ticket.
So it's still a criminal citation.
Yeah.
Okay.
But like they didn't hold it against me. So this is the best part. It was like this tiny, it's Gila Bend, Arizona, which is like the epitome of a one-stop sign, like rest stop town. And the judge was late to the case. I was there at 9 a.m. sharp and he got there at like 9:15. And he's like, my dad was there with me. He's like, why are you here? And my dad's like, because I'm pretty sure you're probably going to take his license from him and I'll have to drive him home. And he goes, he looks like a good kid. I'm just going to put it as like a 5 miles an hour over and you just pay the $200. And it like wiped off in like 2 years. So Gila Bend just needed the money, you know?
Oh,
so yeah,
okay.
I didn't get a felony, but.
Wonder what he meant by he looks like a good kid.
I don't know. I'm not going to read into it too
Why are you looking at me when you say that? I do not look like a good kid. People look at me and are like, that guy's either insane or dangerous or both.
Yeah. Chris, I did get your message about having you on soon. If you want to come over and like do it here in studio, let's figure out a date that works for you. I know you got a family. We kind of have a house. I don't know.
Don't read that. Don't read that.
I just had a literacy problem. I don't know what y'all are laughing about. So, yeah.
Don't read that.
Oh, that was a crazy year. That was the same year that we found meth in my car too.
What?
Yeah. No, this is a good one. This is a good late stream story. So my dad was a car wholesaler for most of my life. This is 100% true. And he, one of the best ways to get a deal on a car is to buy them from police auctions Because like when the police seize a car for like criminal reasons, they own it
right
eventually, and then they can just sell it for pure profit. So we got this Suburban that was in a drug seizure from Farmington PD in New Mexico. And I was getting ready to go on a Young Life trip with a bunch of Young Life leaders to California. And I was driving it around for like a week or so before that. And I was like, Dad, the AC doesn't work. He's like, oh, it's probably just the air filter needs to be replaced. And so he goes to change out the air filter and he comes inside with this Tupperware bowl and he's like, what the hell is this? And it'd be like, it looks like meth. And we weighed it and it was like 4.5 pounds. So we called the police and we're like, we just found meth in our car. And like they send like one squad car out because they're like, whatever. And the person sees it and makes a call. And all of a sudden we have like all the board Scottsdale police at our house. Like, what? And then they had their drug guy look at it. He's like, yeah, that's 100% methamphetamine. And we're like, okay. He's like, so do you want to keep it or turn it in? And my dad's like, he's like, it's your property technically. So we turned it in and they were just telling us all their good stories. So he said it was worth like $80,000 potentially. And then my dad's like,
wait, hold on, time out. We just glossed over the fact that they offered to let you keep $80,000 worth of meth.
I assume he was joking. But he was like, he's like, so what do you want to do with it?
You did
It's
not
your
deliver
property.
it as if he was joking.
Okay.
I mean, do you want to turn it over? Or do you want to keep it?
Yeah, you want to keep it? Or I mean, like, I'm looking to buy some.
Charge the battery pack.
Oh, the camera's dying.
Oh.
I knew this was going to happen.
Okay.
Where did I plug it in?
Yeah.
Did you guys not use the... Oh, you did. They don't have adapters. I remember. I heard about that.
You heard about from Andrew?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. Yeah. So, I mean, those should be easy enough to order, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So, well, technical difficulties, folks. Hopefully you can still hear us. I mean, it's just the camera that died, right?
Yeah, just the camera died. That's what it would be dope to have the second one set up, though, because then it would just,
There's double A's in the drawer. Hey, and we're back.
Okay, cool. And I'll just get this guy plugged in. So
Yeah, yeah.
we should buy an AC adapter for this.
Yeah, because if we're going to, I mean, like you even said, like, it'll last about an hour.
Yeah.
So, and it's on the dot.
much
That's
on the
basically what it did. So,
I was hoping that you could just drip power it with like a battery pack, but I couldn't figure it out. So.
yeah. So, well, cool. Well, on that disappointing note,
now that the camera's back up,
yeah. Well, I mean, this was, I don't know, I feel like it's a decent, like, hey, new studio, we're gonna have problems.
Yep.
And we had them.
Fixing the bugs
What is this,
live.
amateurs?
I mean, I'm down to deep dive, but it seems like Kyle wants to leave.
I mean, you know. Yeah. And then plus, you know, you get to tour this Pint studio. We could
That'll
take
be cool.
pictures of you in there. That could be your new profile pictures. Yeah.
Yeah, that'd be fun.
Okay. Well, sweet.
Cool.
All right. Well, if
Thanks
y'all
for watching, everybody.
yeah, thanks for watching.
Did they arrest him for drug possession? I assume if he said I was keeping it.